thank you so much for meeting with me and reviewing my work. Let's see.
Absolutely, Mr.
Thank you so much. So, that's a guideline. So, obviously, the work was to make a video explaining making a product and explaining how that relates to a certain activism or thing you want to highlight. So, I chose unions in the entertainment industry, more specifically the animation industry, and for my product, I chose to make a flipbook, or am choosing to make a flipbook. I have not made the flipbook yet, but I have a test flipbook here just to show you what it might look like in the end. The demographic is for anyone who wants to watch the video. I don't really know what else to say about that. The purpose of this video is to raise awareness for labor unions and the unions. That's pretty much it. Animators' rights and teaching. I guess it's also to teach a little bit, slightly. And my stats on my first draft. I mean, I don't have my first draft completely done yet. I know, it's bad, but
Guys, look at this.
yeah, I'm just
Terrible.
But
Points off.
I think it's gonna be good in the end. My interview's done. I edited out my interview, and I have that basic outline, so I'll be showing you that while we in between videos.
Great.
So
We'll see you after this cut.
it's crazy. All right, so let's see. So obviously,
Great. Ryan, overall impressions. Your storyboard is well thought out, and it is obviously it's a storyboard. It's pretty basic.
it's pretty basic. Yeah.
But I think it gets a lot of the points that you need to get into a draft done, and your test flipbook is pretty good for someone who doesn't know anything about animation. I can't wait to see how the video comes out once you are able to put that all together. And I can't really say whether or not it falls short right now because
It's just not there.
the video's not done.
Yeah.
But
I have a question.
uh,
I mean, since you're farther ahead in the video, do you have any tips, any words of wisdom you can give me now that you've?
you are better at it.
No, I'm just saying, like, just in the making of the video, like, did you run into anything that you didn't foresee? If not, then you say no.
I'm trying to think. Good advice if I haven't. The way that the clips that I used flow, I think, was a problem. I don't know if we'll get into that. I did see one of his test clips when he was filming his intro. And just make sure that the videos that you have you're able to transition between them fairly smoothly without it feeling too abrupt or aggressive. Like I feel like the way that the interview leads into however you choose to format it. If you do the interview first, the way that the interview flows into the rest of your piece, I think mine's a little bit jarring, and so I might need to edit that out a little bit. So I would say be careful with the way that you choose to do that in your draft of your video. But I think your draft so far will be able to get your point across and get people involved in the process of animation, which will likely make them care more about the animator strike or writer strike or whatever it is. And I would say that obviously for actual feedback, you should be, working on it.
You should go get
I know that you have your
yeah.
and stuff, but putting it together would be something that you need to probably get on, and I don't know how easy
I was
it would
thinking
be for
about
you
just
to
like
do that.
waiting till the last day. That's not fun. No, I get it. Yeah, that's good.
Are you able to do that while you're at VR?
Yeah, I'm bringing my computer
Okay,
every
alright.
day. I'm bringing my flipbook in.
So I was gonna say you might be kind of screwed over.
Yeah.
That takes a while.
Yeah, might be an extra day.
And
Yeah.
then specific feedback, I suppose.
And
I mean, there's not much feedback I can give, but I would say for your flipbook, I know you're gonna make something else. Don't make it too complicated. Don't make it too simple.
I like
Bouncing balls, good. and it's obviously like very basic to get people into it. It's a good test one, but used in the video, I think it should be something that makes people want to get more involved in it,
I do
but
have a
also
question.
not lock them.
Yeah, I was gonna say like how should I make it like where you could should I make it where someone like that's brand new could do it, or should I make it like a little more complicated where they would not be able to do it right away? It's a tough question. I'm not
It
decided.
is a tough question, and that is a big part of how you draft. That will definitely decide how involved people will get.
I'll give you like what I was thinking about doing. I was thinking about doing so in animation there's a bunch of like core like exercises and principles there like beginners do. So I was thinking about doing one of those and then maybe expanding on it a little bit, but having like a core example there. So if you really wanted to start somewhere, you could use that as like a jumping off point. Maybe like I don't know, maybe I could give like 2 versions of like a similar thing, one more complicated and one more simple.
Or the other way that you could approach that would be you could just make the one, and you could make it a slightly more complicated version of the core. And you could make it so that if someone's following along the process, they can choose which way they go about it. Like if it was like, the best example I can come up with is like this Stickman fight flip hooks, because that's the one that everyone's If you were making one of those and you were like, okay, here's how to draw Stickman, anyone can do that. If you add like an impact frame, maybe then make the one, and you could make it a slightly more complicated version of the core. And you could make it so that if someone's following along the process, they can choose which way they go about it. Like if it was like, the best example I can come up with is like this Stickman fight flip hooks, because that's the one that everyone's If you were making one of those and you were like, okay, here's how to draw Stickman, anyone can do that. If you add like an impact frame, maybe then the more complicated people or the better people would want to do that version, and then anyone else could still make the thing, but just have it be more simple, more along the stick line or the Stickman as flip book. I think that's the last piece of advice that I would have for you.
It's great advice, Isaac. Thank you so much for the interview.
But
Not the interview, for the review.
feedback.
For the feedback.